Hello, this is Stampy, and welcome to another behind-the-scenes video. Sorry if I sound a little bit more tired than I normally do in these videos. Basically, it's because I'm a little bit more tired than I normally am in these videos, but I had an idea, and I wanted to go and check it out, and I thought, why not do another behind-the-scenes video? So I wanted to capture me designing the thing that I wanted to build. So yeah, I guess we're just going to have a little bit more of a chilled-out one today. So right then, the idea I started with wasn't much of an idea. The idea I started off with was to have a chicken restaurant. So a restaurant that sells cooked chicken. Basically because I want to do a lot of restaurants. I have an entire area in my town which is going to be basically dedicated to having restaurants, and there's not a huge amount of different food inside of Minecraft, so I wanted to dedicate one to the cooked chicken. And I was thinking about different ideas. I had a lot of really bad ideas that I don't even want to share with you because they were such bad ideas and I've moved away from them, so they don't need to be mentioned. But something that I don't know if it's even still a thing anymore, but certainly in England, I don't know how much of an international thing it was, but there was a trend for a while, and I think it was basically mainly one chain, but basically a trend to have restaurants where you cook your own food, which was like such a bad idea. I'm so glad it didn't like catch on and become a thing. Like, I guess it's a weird novelty to go and like basically be barbecuing your own food, but like that's what you go to a restaurant for, is to have someone who like knows how to cook food better than you cook your food. So basically the way they would work, actually it would be less like this. It'd be more like a fire pit, I guess, in the middle, where basically everyone would sit around and then they could go and like cook their food in the middle of the table. And then I think they brought out vegetables and stuff as well to go along with the meat that you cook and sauces and stuff. And yeah, I don't think it really caught on. They kind of like came and then went, but I think that is the kind of weird novelty that might be a fun thing to do in a restaurant. So I had about the idea of maybe doing a furnace in the middle and maybe kind of decorating it in some cool way or something. And then I thought maybe I could combine this with the minecart furnace. So this is something that I haven't really used very much before, the minecart furnace. It's used in a minigame and like in my toy town as well. So it's been used a little bit, but certainly one of the more underused items. But I had the idea of like, what if like the furnace comes to you? Like, imagine going to a restaurant and you sit down and then like an oven on wheels just goes and sails its way towards you to then like allow you to cook your food. So I don't know how these minecart furnaces work in terms of trying to put things in them to be cooked, because normally like they're just used to like move things around without power rails, and they're great for when you're deep down in a mine and maybe you have a big ramp going up. You know, they have their limited uses. So let's say the furnace arrives like this. What happens if I then go, let's go to survival to make sure I don't do anything weird, but what happens if I then try to put chicken in it? Okay, it's not letting me click on the furnace. Right now, I'm pressing left trigger on it, and I can't do anything. If I crouch, I can't do anything either. That might that might ruin the whole cooking with a furnace idea if you can't actually put any chicken inside of it. I mean, it could be a case of like, let's put another one down here. What if like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, I'm in an old survival line. There we go. Let's put that down there. So let's say it's already starts in the middle of the table, and we could make this fancier and put a carpet or something over it maybe. But let's say I then go and put just, oh, okay. I see. So it looks like I just can't open the furnace at all. I think I already knew that actually now I think about it. So yeah, this furnace here, it is a furnace, but I can't press left trigger on it at all while it's in the minecart. The only thing I can do is like put coal into it, and then it's going to start moving. Let's see, that's a little bit more annoying compared to what I would want to have happen. The other question then, is there any way to like make a furnace go into a minecart? I guess there wouldn't be. Like, the only thing I can think of is like, I don't think this is going to work, but let's just try it anyway, just to rule it out. But let's say we had like oh, I didn't even grab it. Let's say we have a dropper here like this, and a furnace in there, and then a minecart next to it. Would that fire the furnace in the minecart? It would be cool if it did. I don't think Minecraft quite works in that way, but let's see. Let's do an experiment, and yeah, that's exactly what I expected to happen. That would be a cool thing. Why is that not a thing? Why can't you fire like things into minecarts? It would be really cool if you could do that with like shulker boxes. Would be something way more useful than the thing that I'm planning. Yeah, this is more annoying. This has kind of ruined my idea a little bit. So I really like the idea of, you know, you're sitting here and then like the furnace arrives and then you cook your food, or maybe you cook your food then the furnace gets sent off. There was just a fun novelty, you know, to do with that. And then you can do like cool designs with the the minecart furnaces as well. Like, say if I had like carpet along here, like the minecart furnaces, they're like slightly too tall and they kind of like poke through the carpet, and it actually looks pretty cool. Let me just go and give you a demonstration of how that looks. If I go and throw this down here, then do that, you can kind of see that you see like the shape going, and there's nothing else really quite like that in Minecraft. It's like a really bizarre effect, but I thought there might be something along those lines that I'd be able to do, but sadly it looks like that's not going to work. So I'm still not going to completely ditch the idea of using a furnace and minecart, but I might have to just try and twist things a little bit and not do the most obvious thing. So let me have a little bit more of a rethink, and let me see if there are any more ideas kind of going down the avenue which I started. And yeah, as I said, let me go and play around for a bit, and then I'll come back in once I've come up with a new idea for us to pursue. Right then, I've done a bit more experimenting. I played around with these things for a while, and I'm afraid to say that sadly, I think that I'm not going to be able to do anything with kind of this minecart furnace idea. Like, I just love the look of it going through the carpet like that. It just looks so weird and unique. And I really want to do something with the furnace just because I think that looks really cool as well. And I'm really scared that they're going to take the furnace minecart out of the game. Basically because they haven't put it in the Bedrock version of the game. And that seems to be like the version of Minecraft that they seem to be kind of focusing on mainly at the moment, and where all the updates are coming from. So I probably am going to use this, but not for this thing that I'm doing right now. So an idea is never completely gone. Basically, I can just use this in something else in the future. So remember this. This will come up at some point. It might not come up for a few years or something, but at some point I will do something like this. But what I have kept is the idea of having food that you need to cook yourself. I kind of like the idea of that. It's something a little bit different. It works really well with the cooked chicken, because cooking chicken is very, very easy to do inside of Minecraft. It's not like you need to go to a crafting table to make a pumpkin pie or something. So what do you think of this design? I think this looks quite cool. So it's basically just like a nice close-up arrangement. So basically I built one of these, and I thought this individually just looked quite cool anyway. So basically the way this would work is, let me grab some chicken. So there'd be a bunch of coal inside of here already. Let me go and throw some coal in. I realized I grabbed cooked chicken, which you don't need to put into a furnace. But basically the way this works is the hopper won't take the coal. The hopper will only take the cooked chicken once it's cooked. So if I put a stack of raw chicken in here, basically this would get cooked. It would get pulled into the hopper. It would then get fired into the chest. So the idea is you could go and put your food inside of the furnace, wait here for a little bit, and then go grab it out of there and go and have something to eat. And you're kind of cooking it yourself while sitting at the table. And then I was kind of experimenting doing a few of these together. So originally I had like half slabs in these corners, which I thought looked quite good. And then I kind of did a bunch of them together and realized that if there's half slabs there, you're going to be like kind of constantly going up and down like this. And I kind of got rid of the half slabs. But I like the seating arrangement. You have like one huge seat on like each side of the table, and then it all kind of goes into the middle where there's like this is like a weird part where these are all people sitting for different tables, but they're all in kind of like a circle around each other. And then it means that I have a nice middle point in the restaurant, which is always nice because I could do something kind of coming up from the top here. I'm not saying it's going to be anything like this, but it means I could do something exactly in the middle of the room for a decoration. And this could kind of continue going on outwards. Like I could do another one of these and kind of start building it here if I wanted to. And this can kind of go on endlessly depending on how big the restaurant is. In the area I'm building it, the restaurant is going to go 17 blocks back. So let's just do a bit of an experiment. So let's say this starts here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Ooh! Okay, this is a... it's actually a bit of a worry. Like, you could say it fits in perfectly, but when it fits in perfectly, it means it's going to be, like, very, very close to the walls. This could actually end up quite nice, though. Oh, look at that. There's something satisfying about that. I did not work that out before, I promise, but this could end up being, like, the perfect size that we need for the restaurant. Like, even, like, the front door could end up being here. So, where it is in my lovely world is, like, the path that is, like, here, which means like the door would have to be like on one of these sides here, and it can be as wide as I want as well. Basically, it just needs to go 17 back. But yeah, this is kind of where I am at the moment. I think this is a pretty nice design. The way you kind of cook it yourself, and just the way the seating is just pretty unique, and it's gonna make a really cool design. I think like looking at it directly from the top looking down is gonna look cool. I don't think you're ever gonna be looking at it in that way, but that just kind of happens to make it a cool pattern. So yeah, I think we definitely are onto something here. So I think I'm gonna kind of keep going down this road and play around, but I really want to go now and load up my lovely world and see exactly kind of how much area I have to work with. You know, maybe could I push it one block out further and build some more area? Basically, I'm planning to build this next to my beetroot restaurant, but of course, I could end up building it somewhere else, but that was the plan at the moment. I didn't realize quite how big it was until I put the blocks down. So yeah, let me go to my lovely world. Let me kind of look at some of the possible places where I could build it, and then I'll come back to this world and start recording again, and we'll see, yeah, what other designs we can do, because I haven't even put a second's thought into like the materials or what the outside of the building is going to look like. Right, I looked around my lovely world, and there's a few different places that would make sense to build it. So I tried it, building it next to my, well, not actually building it, but working out the dimensions for it next to my Sky High restaurant, where it would be about this size, and it was only ever so slightly bigger and didn't really help with any of the problems. And then next to my fast food restaurant, it's like an extra 10 blocks wide, which would just make it way, way, way bigger, and like way bigger than I think it needs to be. So I've decided to stick with the 17 block length. So as you can see from here, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And it just fits in really nicely. So basically there goes from a seat here to a seat there. It just completely fits in. And then I tried just kind of circling it. So like literally I went around the edge, I went diagonally across this, and then just across there and like that. I did that the entire way around. I then realized that one, I didn't have any room to really add windows unless I kind of did these sort of weird windows, but they're kind of weird windows. I guess I could still end up adding some of them in, but I wanted some proper windows. Also, I wanted a door. I couldn't really add a door in anywhere because it's really hard to add in a door when you're going diagonal. Like it just doesn't really fit in, so you couldn't really do that. The only way I could do it is on one of the straight sides, which would mean breaking away where the seats are, and I didn't want to do that. So I basically, on this bit, did it as if it was an entire square. So I didn't cut away the corner. Basically, it goes all the way out here and all the way out there. And it means, like, if you look at it from above, you kind of get like an arrow shape. And that's just quite an interesting shape. And it's certainly something different compared to all of the other shapes that I've done. And normally my buildings are so perfect and symmetrical, and, you know, they're like this, or they're, you know, like this, and they're the same on both sides. But this kind of isn't. I guess unless you look at it perfectly diagonal like this, but you wouldn't be. You'll generally be looking at it like this. So I think that's kind of interesting. So, of course, I'm not going to be building it out of white wool. I just kind of build it out of that because it's just such a nice neutral color, just, you know, before I decide what it's going to look like. I've already started getting, like, attached to the spruce and birch pattern on the inside, just because I happen to be building out of it. So I need to kind of force myself to not get too used to it and try out some other materials in case something else looks better. But yeah, I feel like in the corner, there could be like fences kind of going up to the ceiling, and then these could also be in like these little gaps. There's like these kind of little areas that were left behind these seats, which would be annoying because it'd be like wasted space, but it gives me an opportunity to kind of add some other decorations there. And then there's also a nice little bit of room, very small bit of room here, where we could have a chest where maybe this is where all of the raw chicken is, and maybe you grab it when you come in, when you go to your seat, or maybe it could be a case as you just go and sit down, and then the staff go and bring your chickens and throw them down, and then, you know, you put them in the furnace or wherever that works. It just means I got a nice little bit of room here. And then also just behind these seats, seen as it's kind of basically the same as the other corners, I thought I could do the same kind of thing. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this is right now. I guess I really need to start thinking about the materials. I just kind of need to look at my lovely world a bit more just to see what materials we have nearby. Luckily, I'm actually going to be building it next to this restaurant. So I kind of just happen to be in the sketchbook world building it next to it. So I'm not going to be doing a red building, I think. It's just because that one is very, very red. I know it's also near the fast food restaurant. It's near the Stupendous restaurant, and then the Fancy Pants restaurant as well. So I think it's probably going to be a wooden building, because there's not really a wooden building around in that area. But I'm not entirely sure, and I'm also not sure how the roof's going to be, because it's going to have a tall roof. Because I want these to be standalone things. I like their little roofs. So the actual main roof is going to have to be at least this high. So it's going to be a relatively tall roof, and then there's going to be opportunities to like maybe like on this diagonal bit to kind of slope it up like this a little bit and kind of get higher or something. So yeah, there's lots of different things I can play around with that just to make the outside look even cooler. So let me go and work out a few more things of that, and then I'll bring you back in and kind of show you what my ideas are then. Okay, I've done quite a lot more working out. I still got a lot more working out to do, but let's just kind of show you. Well, I've been playing around with a few different things. One of the things I decided is I like the idea of using these trapdoors as windows, just because it's just such a cool effect, and it's something that I hardly ever use. I think I've only used this once, and that is for the queue for my creeper coaster. And that was back in the day when to do this effect, you had to do like a weird glitch with a piston to kind of lock it into place. Now you can just place these down like this. So I kind of like the idea of that. It's not going to be a big spruce like plank building. Don't worry about that. But yeah, some other things I do like is I kind of like the shape of this roof, the way it kind of goes down low, then goes up to the top like that. Ignore this thing for now. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But if we go inside here, we can see that it all fits in nicely. There's like a block gap in the ceiling. It doesn't feel too cramped in here, especially when you're not kind of flying around. So yep, I like this. And then I like the idea of like whatever kind of goes out the middle, like this column will go like straight out through the ceiling. And then there's quite a nice pattern of these trapdoors I did there. And then I had the idea of this kind of going up and doing some sort of pattern. I guess kind of not too dissimilar to this. And I don't know if this was inspiration because this was right next to me. I only just kind of noticed it was here. But yeah, basically the column could kind of go up through the middle. Obviously not with a big gap like this and have some sort of design. And then I had the idea of kind of maybe we could link it up to here because this area here, like if these blocks weren't here, this bit looks a little bit flat and weird. So you see I kind of added a half slab here and stuff, and I just think that that bit looks a bit strange. But I like the idea of somehow linking this up and having a column going from like the inside there. Like linking up with there could be cool. I don't think this is the design. This isn't the final design. This just looks a little bit rubbish. But I think kind of linking them up in some way might be cool. Or maybe just having something there, like a smaller version of the same thing that's there or something. I think there could be something to that. So yeah, I think I'm going to go, the next thing to do now is to play around a little bit more with that to get that design. I'm pretty happy with the actual shape of the building and kind of the roof and stuff. And then I need to do another big think about materials. So for a while I was thinking it should be oak planks to match the trapdoors. But then I thought, you know what, the trapdoors kind of look good with whatever. So I just need to work out what kind of like materials like I want. I was talking about like, well, thinking about the idea of doing like columns of wood for the side bit, but yeah, I just wanted it to look boring. And oh yeah, I added these little trapdoors down the side here as well. So let me work out this top bit first, and then I can kind of go and focus a little bit more about exactly which materials I'm going to use to be able to build it. Okay, I've made a bit of progress for the outside materials, at least. This is kind of what I have so far. So I knew that I needed this section here. I wanted to be able to use half slabs and stairs and stuff, so I knew it had to be like either wood or like stone or basically anything that I can make stairs and half slabs out of. And there isn't a huge amount of things you can do that with. Brick always looks a little bit weird, like, I don't know, brick just doesn't really go with much else. The only thing I really think brick goes with is like these like stone slabs. I think these always look nice together, but I've already made a building with these kind of together, so I didn't really want to do the same thing again. So I suddenly thought I never really built out of nether brick. I think I've only built like one building out of nether brick. Maybe. So it's something that I hardly ever use. And I thought that, you know what, this might be a good opportunity to use this. And then I started playing around with seeing what it looks like. And I was like, that actually looks pretty nice like that. And then I was thinking, what would go well with the nether brick? And the nether brick is so dark, I thought it needs to be a light kind of stone or wood or something. And then I suddenly remembered that for Christmas, I got a whole load of end stone from Santa. Very, very convenient. Which means I can now build out of end stone. And then I put these together and I think this looks great. I think the nether brick and then the end stone brick, what is that what it's called? Yeah, end stone bricks. They look really nice together. So I kind of just did like a little tiny mock-up thing here. I also threw in the trapdoors just to make sure that looks good as well, and I think it does. So I then built this thing. So the shape is pretty much the same as we had before. I've done one line of the nether brick around here, and then it's end stone bricks up to the top, and then it kind of slopes here. Like, would be really, really nice if I could do like upside down stairs up here like that, but of course you'd end up with a bunch of little holes. So sadly, until you can make like quarter blocks, that is not going to be an option. So instead I kind of just did it like this, and then yep, I think that looks all right. It does the same on the other side here, and then this bit is basically the same as what I did for my mock-up there. I got rid of these. I kept the trapdoors here, and then I went one block higher, and then these loop around. I decided to not have this one looping down to the front. I just realized there's no real good way to make it look nice, and I think it looks better with just having them three like that there. And then I just did a little thing here. This might change, but basically a row of like half slabs. The good thing about half slabs is you can leave obviously just a half slab block between them. And I think that makes a cool effect. And then I kind of did like a little almost like an umbrella mushroomy thing on the top there. So I think that looks quite nice for the outside. I haven't really worked out what the inside is going to be. I think I'd like to use different materials other than kind of what I've used, you know, throughout the whole, you know, outside. So I think I probably will do like wooden tables and stuff, even adding stone bricks in as well. Stone bricks kind of looks quite nice with the rest of these materials. Maybe I could do like stone brick floor, maybe, or wooden plank floor. I don't know. So that's obviously going to be the next thing that I need to work out. So let me go and see what materials would work well for the inside, and then we can kind of come back in, because the important thing is obviously for these sections with the umbrellas, this needs to be wood because I want to have the fences holding it up. I don't think that would look very good with the full block. So there's definitely going to be wood here. So it's whether I'm going to use different types of wood. And also, yeah, these bits here with the stairs. Okay, so it looks like there will be a lot of wood. So maybe I will do that with stone brick on the floor. But yeah, I'll throw some stuff down, see what looks good together, and then see whether that works well with the outside walls that I've just done. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done for designing it now. The outside hasn't really changed. Has it changed at all? I filled in this entire area with half slabs just because I think it looked a little bit weird just being left open like that. So apart from that, it's pretty much the same. I also experimented a little bit with like doing the half slabs up here as well. And then I thought it was a bit too much and then I stopped. Well, maybe just this middle one. What will this look like? Let's just do a little... No, okay. I think just the one on the front, just to make that one a bit different. But yeah, part of that, I think I'm pretty much happy with the outside. Let me go and show you the inside. So it pretty much ended up what I kind of just said, where I think stone brick looks good on the floor. And then I went for oak for the chairs, not the chairs, sorry, the tables. And I just realized this was a bit weird. But basically, the way I'm doing it is like a circle of stairs. So rather than just doing it blocks, it looks a little bit more like an actual proper table. And I think this just makes it look a little bit better. It's just a little bit more interesting. Kind of you got room to put your legs under the table. And then I also noticed, I didn't mean to do this, but this one is taller than the mock-up, which means we have a 2-block gap above here. And I think I'm going to keep it like that. I think I just like it with a little bit more room. It kind of makes it more obvious that these are a bunch of like little rooms over like the little cooking bays. And then apart from that, I think it's pretty much the same as it was. So it's dark oak for the seats and then just normal oak for the tables. I tried birch. Birch was a bit too bright. And so I've built out of spruce and birch a lot as well. So I thought I'd try a different combination of different types of wood. I got all of the chicken here. So the idea is you'd come in, you'd grab yourself your chicken, you'd go and sit on your seat. You'd throw it and add it to your pile of chickens in the furnace, and then once it pops out, you can go and eat it on your plate. So that's the way the restaurant would work. I haven't got a name for this place yet, but to be honest, at this point, that's basically becoming a tradition. Like, I keep being really rubbish at coming up with names. Well, not rubbish, just like really like slow. Like, I used to like design something and then like either have the name before I start designing it or come up with it while I'm designing it, but I keep leaving it as last minute as possible. And I think I'm going to do the same for this one. So I'll probably build the outside before I even come up with a name. I started coming up with a few suggestions, like doesn't even make sense. You cooking? I think it's supposed to be you cook and get cooking, but I didn't even get that right. So yeah, let's not worry about the name for now. But I think apart from that, it's completely done. So there's a good chance that maybe these bits on the top might change a little bit when I end up building them in my lovely world. Like, I'm sure I'm not going to build them to the exact same height or anything. And there may be 1 or 2 more changes, but I think apart from that, I'm pretty much happy with the design and happy to call it a day. And yeah, get things set up in my lovely world so I can go and actually kind of build it properly there. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this behind the scenes video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. There'll be plenty more coming up in the future. Probably the next one will be me kind of planning a new minigame for my Funland. So if you enjoy them, make sure you check back for that. But apart from that, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!